plate. Hear that crowd roar, the Angels minor league reports keeping score. 66 are swinging down in Inland Empire. Dust Devils heating up the region high. Rocket City Trash Pandas, they're coming through. Salt Lake Bees buzzing, making their move. Dominick Lorenz breaking down the play. Halos in the infield each and every day. Prospects climbing, chasing that dream. From the minors to the majors, part of the team. Fastballs flying, big hits we see. Catch it all on the Angels minor league report each week. Oh, each week.
Well, it is that time of the week once again. Welcome everybody in to the Angels Minor League Report here on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network. So great to have you along for another week. Incredibly, it befuddles me. I don't know, you insert the adjective there, that this is already episode number 3. How incredible is that? Thank y'all for coming on out and supporting this show, as well as all the shows on the Halos in the Infield Network over the last couple of weeks as we gear up for opening day 2025 for your Halos. As right now we're still at the point of the year where we can be a little bit honkish for time to time, because right now everybody is 0-0. Spring training don't mean a thing except for just seeing what guys have through the off season and what's to come here in the regular season. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being a part of now episode number 3. And we got so much to cover here on this episode of the Angels Minor League Report. We're going to start off talking about the spring breakout game that happened for the Angels this past Saturday against the Chicago Cubs. That's going to take up most of the show here this evening. And then we're going to dive into all 4 levels of the Angels Minor League system: Inland Empire 66ers, Tri-City Dust Devils, Rocket City Trash Pandas, and the Salt Lake Bees. And we're going to go over their first weekend of games. The minor league season, pretty much from AA and below, begins that first weekend of April. AAA starts just a tad bit beforehand. So we'll go through each of the schedules just to kind of show what's ahead in the upcoming weeks, because right now it's the final week that the Angels and the minor league clubs are going to be in Tempe, Arizona, because on Sunday, the 23rd, the Angels are coming back to Southern California. They have a 3-game series against the Los Angeles Dodgers, 1 at Dodger Stadium on Sunday and 2 at the Big A next Monday and next Tuesday. So a lot to gear up for before that off day next Wednesday. And then boom, hit the flight. We're going to Chicago. It's a Midwest trip to begin the year. 3 against the White Sox, 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals before the Angels come on back to the Big A to take on the Cleveland Guardians to start off the home slate of the 2025 season. So without further ado, Dominick Lorenz of Catella Chronicles is here for you. Angels Minor League Report. And the spring breakout games took place, and this year the Angels had a little bit of a slot time against the Chicago Cubs. And as you see on the screen for you right there, if you're watching the podcast here on YouTube, featured prospects for the Angels: Christian Moore, who is the number 1 prospect in the Angels farm system, and George Clausen in that top 5 acquired in the Carlos Estevez trade last year. They were a part of this game, and a lot of those top 30 prospects that we talked about last week when we ran through the list were a part of this game in some way, shape, or form. Starting lineup, off the bench, out of the bullpen, in the rotation. You name it, they were a part of it, taking on the top prospects from the Cubs organization. And even though not a great outcome for the Angels, the losing streak starts now. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Cubs. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Angels. The win went to Horton. The loss went to the Angels' number 2 pick, Caden Dana, who we've talked about in the first 2 episodes of the Angels Minor League Report. And we'll dive into it here in just a moment. But overall, Angels not really getting too much offense going in 2 hours and 33 minutes. Great crowd at Sloan Park, 9,169. And for anybody that has been to Arizona for spring training for Cactus League action, I've gone once. technically, there's an asterisk by that. I was in Arizona during the COVID pandemic, so everybody was away. So because everybody's away, why not drive to all 10 minor league / spring training facilities and just see if I could sneak in? I got close to a couple, the A's facility, the Angels facility, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was the Cubs facility. Oh, Milwaukee was close too. But I've gone to a lot of the facilities. Haven't seen a game in them yet, but been at the ballpark, seen what they're about, sneaking my head through the fence a little bit. And Sloan Park, I will tell you from the drop, I don't care what anybody says, the Sloan Park ballpark for the Chicago Cubs is easily in the top 2. They're in the top 2. It's just a state-of-the-art ballpark. Great job from the Chicago Cubs. And second place in the Arizona kind of spring training facilities. It's tough, but I would probably have to give the award to the Rockies Diamondbacks facility, which is the Salt River Fields. That one's a really good one as well. I know they're the Dodgers. I got to put them at the bottom. I am not a fan of the Dodgers White Sox facility. Just putting it out there, there's my best and worst. Not technically a part of the show, but why not? I digress a little bit, but Sloan Park, very nice one to go and enjoy a ball game at. For the Angels, though, Caden Dana gets the start, the number 1 pitching prospect and number 2 overall prospect in the Angels farm system. And we talked about it in episode 1, how he was an up-and-coming pitcher. Does he start with the Angels, maybe AAA, or does he go back to AA because AA is that more pitcher-friendly ballpark? Well, after giving up 4 runs, all of them earned on 4 hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout, and giving up a home run in just 2/3 of an inning against the Cubs, very small sample size. A lot to still look forward to if you're a fan of Caden Dana, and the Angels should be. He is a young, controllable arm who it has the technique, has the opportunity, and the stuff in the arsenal to be a front end of the rotation kind of starter. Spring training has not gone great for him so far, so you got to pump it back just a little bit as we see Caden Dana on the screen here. That, Noah Syndergaard type hair blowing in the wind for the Angels. Just a rough start, just 4 runs, 4 hits. Did not look like himself in that game, and it just looked like he was not comfortable throwing anything against the Chicago Cubs top prospects. He gave up early on hits. Ballesteros, one of their top catching prospects in the Cubs system, had 2 hits in the ball game. Alcantara, their stud outfielder who played center field on that day, had a pair of hits and 2 RBIs. So it was a mano versus a mano, your top prospect against your top prospect, and the Cubs just out-hit the pitching of Caden Dana. So what does this say about Caden Dana? Yeah, you got to put a little stock in it because it's the future of baseball playing against each other. But at the same time, you're being plucked out of your routine at spring training. You're being thrusted into this starting rotation for a prospect breakout game. All eyes are on you. And it's just very out of the usual. It's kind of like the mini all-star game of spring training for these young kids that maybe don't get the opportunity on a daily basis because for the Angels, guys like Jorge Soler, Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, the other guys need their consistent reps to be ready for the full 162 game season. So yes, you want to kind of put this in the, the back of your head and forget about it. And I would, if you're an Angels fan, you don't want to completely forget it as if he's God's gift to pitching and he can do no wrong, but still have it in the back of your mind and pull it out to say, hey, use this as a starting point, and hopefully this is what the Angels will do if it's Perry Manasseh and Ron Washington, the entire pitching coach staff for the Angels at the professional and at the minor league level. Use this footage as this is what you did right, this is what you're doing wrong, and let's see if we can elevate you to the next level and get you to a better spot so when the opportunity comes at a high level, you're going to want to be performing at your best. The big thing at All-Star Weekend for minor leaguers is the futures game. Caden Dana could be a part of that futures game because he is one of the top prospects in Major League Baseball and the number 2 prospect with the Angels. So if another opportunity 3.5, 4 months from now in July in Atlanta, where the All-Star game is being held this year, you want to take advantage of that opportunity and put your name on the map The Angels are the 30th rated farm system in Major League Baseball. It sucks. It's not great. But we've talked about it on the show plenty of times. The Angels have traded away a lot of top prospects in the last couple of years. And that's okay because a lot of them that were traded away were stopgap players. We traded away Edgar Quero, top catching prospect. He was never going to play because Logan O'Hoppe is the catcher of the future and leader of the Angels. We traded away infielders like Jeremiah Jackson. He was not going to get playing time over Zach Neto. So why keep him in your farm system and delay and inhibit them from reaching the pro level when you can get something for them? So I get why people are frustrated that the Angels have the 30th rated farm system. I get it and I feel you. But at the same time, you have to put your fan hat aside. I'll do it now. Fan hat aside. Put the educational hat on and say, this is why the Angels had to do what they had to do. 2 years ago, the Angels were in the thick of a wild card chase. And even though getting Randall Grichuk, CJ Cron, and Lucas Giolito did not, and I repeat, did not pan out, we can't lose faith in the minor league system because at the end of the day, they're minor leaguers. They have not proven anything until they get to the big level. So why do we say, hey, this guy's going to be the future when they haven't proven anything yet? You got to temper expectations a little bit with these minor leaguers to a certain extent. On the plus side, I will say for the Angels in this spring breakout game, 2 guys. And one of them was already on the screen next to Caden Dana just a moment ago. And we've talked about him before. There he is right there. Nelson Rada, 19-year-old outfielder, went 1 for 3 with a run scored. He picked up a walk in the game as well. And a tip of the cap to him, he uses his speed and picks up a stolen base. I think this kid has a definite chance at some point this year to crack the big league roster. I don't know if it's going to happen on opening day because Joe Adell, who has struggled in spring, and Mickey Moniak, who's kind of been up and down, has had moments, but not all the time. Those 2 guys are still there. And again, you want to temper expectations at 19 years old for Nelson Rada. He has shined at the low A and high A level. Offensively, he took a step back last year at Double A, but his defense and stolen base ability were still at an all-time high. So could he squeak in if somebody gets hurt in the outfield and he has to come up? Sure, why not? Give the kid a chance. But I think this kid has so much promise, and I believe I said it at the last show. You guys will have to remind me if I said it or didn't. But I believe I gave him an ETA where I said he could potentially be an opening day candidate in 2027. And maybe earlier if he continues to progress. I know he's 19 years old, and the Angels really haven't had that really young outfielder since around the time of Mike Trout. But this kid could have the ability, and especially with the speed and the slap contact and bunch ability, he could be the future leadoff guy for the Angels. And then after that lineup, it's Trout and Ward if he's still here, O'Hoppe as he develops, Soler if he's still here, and so on and so forth. Really, really like Nelson Rada. And he proved it 1 for 3 in that game with a stolen base and a run scored. Christian Moore went quiet. He went 0 for 3 with the strikeout. Cole Fontanelle, a guy that, Angel fans and just baseball fans in general thought his career was done last year when he made a collision and slid awkwardly into second base, screwed up his leg, knee, whatever it was, compound fracture, this, that. He goes 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Great overall day for him. He did have a home run in that game, and that was a 9th inning home run for a solo shot, a Han Solo home run, as we like to call him here at the network. But Cole Fontanelle, a great story, hot corner third baseman, and something about third base in the Angels, they're always in a need for it because Anthony Rendon ain't going to play a game ever again, I swear. Yoan Moncada having some thumb injuries right now. Luis Rengifo has struggling with the hamstring right now. Who the heck is going to play opening day for the Angels at third base? I'm not saying Cole Fontanelle is. He's not ready yet. He still needs plenty of minor league time, and he'll probably get a start at Double A to open up the season and kind of pick up where he left off when he got hurt last season. But if that bat from the left side really does start to heat up, I think he could be a surefire candidate to be alongside Zach Neto on the left side of the infield 2027 and beyond, depending on what the Angels choose to do in the free agent market. That's fact. That's not fiction. This is real here, folks. This is what we're looking for. Who is going to be next? Because we cannot depend on Anthony Rendon. We haven't for a very long time. And time is a ticking because of more players that are infield prospects for the Angels heat up, show promise on a consistent basis, and can translate it. Buy out Anthony Rendon, eat the money, and let these guys play. Or think of it this way, free agency. What's in the next crop of free agent third baseman in the market? I've already checked. It ain't great next year. Next offseason is going to be awful. Then after 2026, we are potentially in a lockout situation. Players Union, the president of the Players Union already said, we're looking for another potential lockout after 2026. And this one could go longer than the previous one. So Angels got to do some thinking before that because a lot could change over the next couple of years. And hopefully Cole Fontenelle is in that plan for the Angels. Rio Foster, who was a prospect for the Angels a couple of years ago, or a draft pick, I should say, was at Inland Empire last season. He picked up a hit in the game. And then there was Randy De Jesus, another Inland Empire prospect from a year ago. He picked up a home run in this game as well. So the Angels did have a pair of offensive bats get some dingers in this game against the Cubs. On the pitching front, George Klassen in this game, he pitched one flawless inning, no runs, one hit, one strikeout. Great work from a top 5 prospect for the Halos. You also had an interesting guy, again, more players we talked about in the top 30 last week. You had Wilbert Urania, who's pitched at low A and high A over the last 2 years. 1 run, 3 hits, had a walk, had a strikeout, but he's got some nasty movement to some pitches. I talked about it. Hone in on the command, and this kid is going to develop very nicely. So even though 1 run and 3 hits, something to work with. Hurtado had a clean inning of work with a walk. Very nice. Key and Cortez, both of them had clean innings as well. And a couple other lower guys that are on the lower end of the totem pole, recent draftees, they got in as well as the action, throwing up some zeros. So really, at the end of the day, out of the 8 runs, it was just a big detriment to Caden Dana at the end of the day, and it was tough sledding overall for him. So when you look at this, how do I put this in a overall kind of overarching package? Yeah, you don't want to lose, okay? And the 4 runs in the first inning by the Cubs really set the tone moving forward after the Angels grabbed a 1-0 lead in the first. So you want to clean up the pitching, and that's been issues for the Angels for years. Do I need to mention more? Like, come on, we had Matt Harvey, Trevor Cahill, all these guys pitching for us. Like, it speaks for itself. But for some of the top prospects, Rada, Fontenelle, De Jesus, all these guys, there is that glimmer of hope that these guys can come up. Call me honkish if you want, whatever the case may be. These are prospects. We're allowed to be honkish when it comes to the prospects. Unless they're 29-year-old passion projects that are still at the A-ball level in their mid to late 20s, okay, then be a little hard on them. But these young kids, 19, 20, 21 years old, cut them some slack, watch them develop, because hopefully they have that opportunity in the future. So, yes, it's a loss for the Angels, 8-3 against the Cubs in the spring breakout games last Saturday. But I would say I'd give it a nice C+. You had some nice performances. You had overall, it was a relatively clean game. Angels had 1 error, but both teams were very clean. So I would say good work for the Angels, C+ effort. They were on MLB Network, so they got some notoriety for some of their top prospects, and even some of the no-name guys got some notoriety as well. So you keep the good train going, see how these guys continue to work over the next week plus before the minor league season begins, spring training ends, and the Angels get back to Southern California for that 3-game series against the Dodgers. But, of course, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of the spring breakout game and the 8-3 loss of the Chicago Cubs. What were the highs? What were the lows? Because in the future of this show, I want to do a mailbag day where we go on in, answer the viewers' questions, have you guys start that debate, start those questions, because there is a lot of unknown at the minor league level, and this is the place. Angels Minor League Report with Catella Chronicles, Dominick Lorenz here on the Halos in the Infield Network. This is the place that you're going to learn a lot about what the Angels minor league system, even though it's rated 30th, dead last in Major League Baseball, what they can bring to the table throughout the season from top to bottom. But as we hit the halfway point of the show here for the day, and before we get into the 4 top minor league teams for the Angels and what they have going on when it comes to opening weekend at the end of March and April, we got to take a moment. We got to just hit the pause button for a moment. Not on the show, but to the content, because we got to thank some sponsors. 714 Tickets, Noble Airworks, Underdog Sportsbook, OC Dugout, all those guys that make everything possible here on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network. We got to shout them out. We got to show them some love. So let's do that right now here at the middle portion of the show.
You're watching the Halos in the Infield Network, proudly sponsored by 714 Tickets. At 714 Tickets, the price you see is the price you pay, no hidden fees. Plus, enjoy an additional 10% off with the code HITI at checkout. Visit them at 2424 East Catella Avenue in Anaheim or online at 714tickets.com. Now, a toast to our friends over at Noble Ale Works. Stop by their tap room at 1621 South Sinclair Street, Suite B in Anaheim. You can also visit them online at noblealeworks.com. Enjoy exclusive drink discounts when you mention HITI when ordering. Plus, if you're heading to the game afterward, park for free at Noble. And finally, our friends over at the OC Dugout, your go-to spot for the best in sports memorabilia. From autographed gear to rare collectibles to exclusive in-person autograph signings, they've got it all. Visit them at 1928 East Center Street in Anaheim or shop online at theocdugout.com. Tell them Halos in the Infield sent you.
Hey Todd, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the Underdog app sponsored by Halos in the Infield. Actually, you can punch in HITI and get the promo code 20% earnings on your first bet via Underdog, the app. And also, they match 50% up to $1,000 winnings if you place bets. You could put them on players, you could put it on teams. It's a nightly thing. It's so easy to play, but also gamble responsibly. All because of Halos in the Infield and Underdog, the app.
Absolute rock star stuff right there from all our sponsors here at Halos in the Infield Baseball Network. Fans, this is the part of the show I'm really excited about because baseball is almost back. We got it back right now with spring training, but we're talking about games that actually matter, the wins and the losses, and who takes home crowns or the rings, however you want to look at it, via the end of the year. And that's where the essence is going to be of this Angel Minor League Report throughout the season. Once the minor league baseball season begins, every Tuesday when you listen to the show or watch the show on YouTube, we're going to dive into Inland Empire, Tri-City, Rocket City, and Salt Lake, what went on for them in the previous week, because in minor league baseball, you play the same team Tuesday through Sunday. And it is a great schedule, in my opinion, as somebody who has worked in minor league baseball since 2017, 3 years in the Padres organization, and on and off over the last 5 years since COVID. I used to be a part of the scheduling when it was a 3-game series, hop on a bus, go somewhere else for 4 games. You have a 10-game homestand. You're traveling consistently. Being able to stay at one place at one time for 6 straight days and play the same opponent, it sucks sometimes when you get to that 5th or 6th game, and if you're being beaten down, you're like, okay, we're done seeing this team. Or if you're the opposite and you're the one doing the beat and you're like, yeah, let's play this team all the time. Travel purposes and resting purposes as a player or as a front office person, as a broadcaster, it is so nice. So I will tell you that first and foremost. But let's talk about what is to come here at the minor league level to get you kind of geared up and ready to go. We're going to start off with the low A, or what they call single A, Inland Empire 66ers. Now, for those that are fans of the Inland Empire 66ers, They are in the California League here in Southern California, and they are in a league. The South Division is Inland Empire, Angels affiliate, Rancho Cucamonga, the Dodgers, the Lake Elsinore Storm, which is the Padres, and the Visalia Rawhide, which is the Arizona Diamondbacks. In the North Division, you have the Fresno Grizzlies, who are with the Rockies, San Jose Giants with the San Francisco Giants, the Stockton Porch with the Oakland A's, aka now the Sacramento A's, or insert name here. And then you have the Modesto Nuts, which is the Seattle Mariners organization. After the 2025 season, the California League is going to go through some changes, and there's going to be a merry-go-round kind of musical chair situation. So for those that follow the Inland Empire 66ers, you're going to want to listen close here. At the end of the 2025 season, there is a new team coming into the California League in Ontario, California. The location of the ballpark is listed. It's going to be in Ontario near the 60 freeway if you're familiar with Southern California, or at least the Inland Empire here. They will be, don't know the name yet, it's Ontario something. They haven't revealed the team name yet. Pardon me, tongue twister. But they will be a Dodgers affiliate. With the Dodgers, who are currently in Rancho Cucamonga, they will now, as of next year, because the Dodgers are moving from Rancho to Ontario, the Angels will move back to Rancho Cucamonga, where they were for years in the early to mid 2000s. The Angels, instead of Inland Empire next year, they will become, again, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. And then the Inland Empire 66ers will become a Seattle Mariners affiliate beginning in 2026, because where the Mariners are now in Modesto, that ballpark is ceasing to exist at the end of the 2025 season. So, a little musical chair. So Seattle will come to San Bernardino. The Angels affiliate will go back to Rancho Cucamonga, and the Dodgers affiliate will be at their brand new home in Ontario. And then in the South Division right now, the California League, Visalia is there. Visalia, still the Diamondbacks, will move back to the North Division of the California League. We'll get into that as the season goes on, but thought I'd let you know that. This is the last year. 2025 is the last year that the Inland Empire 66ers will call the Angels their parent club. With that, they kick things off on the road on April the 3rd. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the schedule here. My eyes, now that I'm 30, my eyes are going away at this point. The Inland Empire 66ers will kick off the year April the 4th, Friday, April the 4th, on the road for a 3-game series at the Visalia Rawhide, before coming home on Tuesday, April the 8th, to kick off their 6-game homestand against the Fresno Grizzlies. So 3 on the road, 6 at home kind of begins their season, a little division play for the Inland Empire 66ers in their final year as the affiliate of the Angels. So great work. And for those that are listening or watching the show, you don't get to see what I see when doing this. Tip of the cap right now to AKA producer of the Stars, Randy, who's in the back right now, clicking on all the videos and all the images, allows me to be the best broadcast version of myself. Randy, cheers for you for being on and doing all the producer to the Stars work. When I said the Fresno Grizzlies, because Randy is up in Central California, big Fresno Grizzlies fan, so he's doing the rah, even though he's an Angel fan like all of us. He's got his little love for the Fresno Grizzlies, even if they're the Colorado Rockies affiliate. But hey, I'm an Angel fan. What do I got against the Colorado Rockies? Nothing really. So, hey, go for it at that point. You got to love who you love. But the Inland Empire 66ers kick off their year 3 at Visalia before returning home for their home opening homestand against the Fresno Grizzlies. Bumping up to Tri-City, the Dust Devils, they're in the Northwest League. They play with teams like the Eugene Emeralds, that are the San Francisco Giants affiliate, the Everett Aqua Sox, the Seattle Mariners, the Hillsboro Hops, who are Arizona, Spokane Indians, which are the Colorado Rockies, and the Vancouver Canadians, which is the Toronto Blue Jays affiliate. So a lot of the same affiliate players from the California League all get promoted to the Northwest League a lot of the time. Tri-Cities kicks off the year at home with a fireworks spectacular to begin the year. 3 games at home. They're welcoming the neighbors from the north, the Vancouver Canadians, into town for 3 games. And then after 2 consecutive road off days, they will hit the bus, hit the road, and they will play the Eugene Emeralds for their first road trip of the season. And that one is a 6-game series. And I can't believe they're doing this in minor league baseball. This is just unheard of. High school, college, you might have heard it. Eugene, because the Eugene Emeralds play near or on the campus of the University of Oregon, the Oregon Ducks, they share a facility in different situations. There is a planned doubleheader on Saturday, April the 12th. Minor leaguers playing day-night doubleheaders. Have a good time. Have fun. The joy of being in minor league baseball. But that's why they're starting their series on a Wednesday. They will play 6 games, but it will be a day-night doubleheader on Saturday, April the 12th in Eugene. So Tri-City, they get to start off at home opposite of the Inland Empire 66ers. And then everybody's favorite, bump them up to Double-A, the Rocket City Trash Pandas. You got to love the logo. Got to love the colors. The ballpark, Toyota Field, is absolutely beautiful. I have not been to it, but we know a lot of Angel fans that have been there, and it is a place to very much so enjoy minor league baseball. Rocket City, starting the year, a 3-gamer at home against the Chattanooga Lookouts, which is the Cincinnati Reds Double-A affiliate. And they somehow get the lucky end of the stick. They get a 3-game homestand, a day off on April the 7th, and get to stay at home for an extra 6 days. So they get 9 games in 10 days at home at Toyota Field. And it's 3 against the Chattanooga Lookouts and 6 against what used to be known as the Tennessee Smokies, which is the Cubs Double-A. They have rebranded themselves and have moved a little bit closer into Knoxville, Tennessee. So the Rocket City Trash Pandas get to host 2 teams from the Tennessee area, Chattanooga and Knoxville. And in the Southern League, there's a lot of teams, but here are the teams that focus inside with the Rocket City Trash Pandas. The Birmingham Barons in Birmingham, Alabama, are the Chicago White Sox affiliate. Biloxi Shuckers, affiliated with the Milwaukee Brewers. Chattanooga Lookouts with Cincinnati. Columbus Clingstones, another rebranded name for this new year. They are the Atlanta Braves affiliate. The Montgomery Biscuits, affiliated with Tampa Bay. Pensacola Blue Wahoos are the Miami Marlins. And the Knoxville Smokies, as I just mentioned moments ago, are the new rebranded affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. So there's the Southern League right there. But opening weekend in the first 9 of 10 days of the regular season, Rocket City gets to play at home at Toyota Field, 3 with Chattanooga and 6 with the Knoxville Smokies. And it all wraps up at the AAA level. Where else do you want to be? Speaking of fields, Salt Lake Bees are getting a brand new ballpark in 2025. Opening day for AAA Salt Lake will be Tuesday, April the 8th. They're starting their season on the road because they got to do all the camaraderie of having city officials and minor league baseball and open the ballpark and have all the press conferences. And to have an opening day on opening day in a new ballpark and all that, that is a lot. It is a lot to handle. So they start the year on the road. AAA season, the Pacific Coast League, starts Friday, March 28th. Friday, March 28th. Just want to put that out there. Next Friday, when the Angels have an off day after their opening day game on March 27th against the White Sox, AAA, they're off and firing. They are near the U.S.-Mexico border in El Paso, Texas, taking on the Padres affiliate, the El Paso Chihuahuas, for 3 games. And then they'll get the Monday off. And then they go to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to take on the Albuquerque Isotopes, which are the Colorado Rockies AAA affiliate. So they'll be in Albuquerque for a week. And then after an off day on Monday, April the 7th, they will have their first homestand in their brand new ballpark in Salt Lake, overlooking the mountains, state of the art. It is absolutely gorgeous. Go to their social media and pages and website. You will see all the data, all the video time lapse of when they broke ground to where they are right now in this moment. And it is going to be a very, very beautiful ballpark in Salt Lake City. They will have a 6-game homestand against the Arizona Diamondbacks affiliate in the Reno Aces. So 10 on the road, you get 6 at home, just kind of the way the season pans out in that sense for Salt Lake. But when you got a new ballpark, you got to cut your teeth a little bit and go on the road to begin. So they will go on the road again, El Paso and Albuquerque, before coming home to take on the Reno Aces. Now, the Pacific Coast League, for many of you that do not know, a lot of teams in the Pacific Coast League. Again, AAA affiliate. When you look at all of the Pacific Coast League teams and affiliates in that era and time and the way it's all structured out nowadays, this is where the affiliations lie now, and this is how we'll kind of wrap up the show at the AAA level. They kind of break it down now with the East and the West division. It's smaller now because you have the Pacific Coast League and the International League. In the Eastern division of the Pacific Coast League, you have the Albuquerque Isotopes, which are Colorado Rockies, El Paso Chihuahuas, the San Diego Padres, the Oklahoma City Comets, which are the Dodgers, who used to be called the Oklahoma City Dodgers, had to rebrand this year, the Round Rock Express, which are the Texas Rangers, and the Sugarland Space Cowboys, which are the Houston Astros. In the West division, you have the Las Vegas Aviators of the, you insert the name here, Sacramento A's Athletics Organization, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call them the Oakland A's for now. So the Aviators are the A's. The Reno Aces are the Diamondbacks. Sacramento River Cats, the ballpark that the Oakland A's are going to use this year, their parent club affiliate is with the San Francisco Giants. The Tacoma Rainiers up in Washington are the Seattle Mariners. And of course, the Salt Lake Bees are your Angels. So in the Angels farm system, no matter what level you are, Rocket City's kind of the outlier since they're all the way out in Alabama. You're seeing a lot of the same teams in the same league. No matter what level, with the exclusion of AA, if you're an Angel farm system, you're going to see a lot of Rockies prospects a lot of Padres prospects, a lot of Athletics, Diamondbacks, Giants. It's just the way the leagues line up, because minor league baseball is trying to limit the travel and keep everybody on the same coast. You can't always do that the way the leagues are aligned, and that's why the Angels are up in Alabama with AA Rocket City. But it's still nice when you get to that AA level to see some other prospects and players from different organizations, like the White Sox, like the Milwaukee Brewers, like the Tampa Bay Rays, and so on and so forth. So a lot to look forward to in the minor league season. AAA begins on March the 28th, next Friday, and then the rest of minor league baseball will start on Friday, April the 4th. So much to look forward to. If you do live here in Southern California, check out the Inland Empire 66ers. Great ballpark, great front office. Their broadcaster, Steve Wynn, is amazing. So if you get to listen to Inland Empire 66ers baseball, I just do it. It's great. You always love listening. It's an art that is lost nowadays. A lot of people like watching the TV or doing different things. Listen to the radio guys. They really put a lot of effort into what they do, and Steve Wynn is absolutely amazing for Inland Empire. No matter where you want to go here in Southern California, check out different ballparks. Rancho Cucamonga has a beautiful ballpark. I know up north, the Fresno Grizzlies have a tremendous ballpark. Used to be AAA, now it's single A. Still a wonderful ballpark. Check out the California League if you're in California. If you're not in California, go to a minor league ballpark near you. It's time that will never not be wasted, and it's cheap. Come on, you can go in for $5-10 in certain ballparks on any night of the week. Go and watch the next generation of baseball be played. No matter where you are, no matter who you root for, the minor leaguers are the minor leaguers. I'm an Angel fan. But will I go to a Quakes San Jose Giants game? That's the Dodgers against the Giants. Sure, if I got time, because I want to watch the next up in the generation of baseball and who the Angels will have to play against at some point. And that's where you do your scouting report here, folks. And for me, a guy that does high school baseball broadcasting right now, there are players at Huntington Beach High School, where I broadcast at, that are in minor league baseball, and I get to watch them play. Or if they're at the college level and so on and so forth, all the connections that happen. And minor league baseball is just fun. All the in-game promos, the mascots. It's a great time. Go out and support your local minor league ballpark. Absolutely do it. You will not regret it. I promise you that. And if you do, message me why, and maybe I might agree or disagree. But no matter what, go on out and support. But that's going to do it here for the Angels minor league report here, episode number 3 with Catella Chronicles, yours truly, Dominick Lorenz, on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network. Look at that big fat head of me. If you're watching on YouTube, it is absolutely gorgeous. Producer to the stars, Randy, taking our selfies that we sent him and zhuzhing them up with a little AI and a little Photoshop or whatever he does best. That is his gig. None of this. I've said this on every show, and I will continue to say it on every show. And I'm not kissing ass. I'm telling you the truth here, folks, because here at Halos in the Infield and Catella Chronicles, we like to be honkish, but we like to have hunkism with realism. And the realistic take here, folks, everything that you see on YouTube, that's Randy. The amazing Catella Chronicles logo with the duck head and the Angels Ducks hat. Angels Minor League Report, the new HITI logo in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Superb, amazing. And all the other things you get to see. This is going to be a great year for Halos in the Infield with the Todd Fox postgame show, with all of the other podcasts that we have going on throughout the weeks, all the graphics, all the videos, all the sound effects. Producer to the stars, Randy, gets the job done. I know he'll give himself a bow. I will give Randy a bow right now. So, Randy, thanks so much for being A-plus producer to the stars. And, hey, Angels Minor League Report, this is where you're going to be. Every Tuesday, first thing in the morning or at night, whenever you get a chance to listen, watch on YouTube, whatever you choose to do best. Like, comment, subscribe, submit your questions. Love to answer them here on the show. But we're going to be talking all things Angels Minor League Report here throughout the 2025 season. But for now, that'll do it here for the show. I am Catella Chronicles, Dominick Lorenz, here on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network. And until next Tuesday, enjoy the rest of your week. Watch everything Halos in the Infield. Enjoy the final week and a half of Angels spring training action and opening day around the corner next Thursday, March the 27th, 10 days away, week and a half, like I said, when the Angels kick off the season against the Chicago White Sox in Chicago for 3 games before going to St. Louis for 3 and coming back to the Big A for the first time in the regular season against the Cleveland Guardians. But until then, as always, I'm Dominick Lorenz. Be happy, be healthy, go Angels, and we'll see you next Tuesday on the Angels Minor League Report.